Hey, everyone, today, we've got another episode with Bigfoot. So, the plan for today is to take it out and thoroughly test its articulation, essentially putting its axles to the test. We'll tackle some obstacles, try to twist it around, even though the axle locks aren't connected yet. It might not work out, but we'll give it a shot and see how it handles. The goal is to figure out if we're missing any wheel clearance anywhere, and consequently, make adjustments to the bumper. After that, we'll finally send the bumpers for painting. Following that, we'll start fitting the plastic fender flares. In general, we've already secured the clamps, so let's hit the road. Alright, folks, we left our Bigfoot on an obstacle, but it seemed a bit too tame, so now we're adding another wheel on top and giving it another shot. Let's just say that without such a ramp, getting into the cabin is absolutely impossible. Well, guys, do you see the height? Just looking at it live, it's simply amazing. We've built something of a real marvel. The suspension is just insane. I really like it. Share your comments. But now, let's try again by front. Seems like something is very high here. Whoa!
Sonia, looks like you need a ladder as a gift.
We're just turning around. Well, we got it by front. Everything is good for the most part. Now, let's test the right rear wheel a bit more. Guys, overall, I'm satisfied with the car. Everything seems to have turned out well. The most important thing is that the gear ratio is very good, meaning you can tackle any obstacles without a problem. You can go into third low gear, be gentle, and even engage second in the swamp. It's really satisfying to maneuver and keep the wheels clean. The only thing I want to improve is the steering. We installed a hydraulic cylinder from a tractor for steering, but the high-pressure pump is still from this car. I think we need to install an enlarged reservoir because, after the car warms up, it starts pushing out oil a bit through the top. Our radiator is from an automatic transmission for cooling. In general, we still need to test and see how things go. Time will tell. In short, we pulled out with the last right rear wheel, observed how it behaves and claws through the gypsum. It didn't get stuck on anything for weeks. Now, I want to turn the steering wheel left and right, see if we need to trim the front left arch a bit more. In summary, we return to the garage. This means we need to prioritize installing an enlarged reservoir for the power steering. The factory one is very small, causing fluid to spill over the top. We'll either find a larger one or make our own. We'll head out now to find one, something large and good to ensure more fluid capacity and avoid these issues. We'll also be trimming the fenders further. As we observed during the drive, there are small gaps that might cause the tire to tear or the fender to bend. We don't need all that, so we'll be cutting them. We'll trim the bumper later and round the corners. If needed, we might add some reflectors. If tire will achieve this zone, it won't be destroyed. Because we will have everything here smooth, without sharp corners and make an additional clearance. Now, we'll be dealing with the gear lever on the transfer case. It got stuck when switching to low gear and high gear. We can't move it anywhere. It seems to be jammed. So, we'll disassemble everything, clean it, lubricate it, and it should work fine. Let's get to it.
Feels like it never stops. You're doing this just 'cause it
Well, guys, the middle fenders in the front have already been trimmed nicely, treated with anti-corrosion primer, and coated with Raptor liner. This means no rusting or issues there. As for the gear lever that got stuck due to prolonged inactivity, we completely disassembled it, cleaned all the parts, lubricated it, and now it engages perfectly. However, this is temporary. We've extended it for now. Once we install the seat, armrest, and the hill, we'll see the ideal length for these levers. Now, we'll proceed with installing the plastic fender flares. These are really nice and wide, 14 centimeters to be precise. Our tires are 52th size, so that's what we're working with. So, guys, here are our beautiful fender flares. As I mentioned earlier, we needed to extend them both along and across. We extended them more on the front side because the tire is quite large here. But in this area near the turn signal, I don't even know, it turned out to be some kind of masterpiece. We practically didn't have metal fenders here, and agree, it would be silly to end the fender here. So, we have this guy who is incredibly skilled and managed to lift this fender slightly towards the turn signal and the side, preserving the shape. We curved it for the front to maintain the form. It turned out to be fantastic. The fender looks complete, and even though there is no metal inside, visually, it's very impressive. We haven't painted it yet, both the front and rear bumpers, because we need to continue with the fenders. They turned out to be quite wide, so we need to modify the bumpers to match the fender width. Now, let's get to work on that. Well, after the bumpers, the next stage for us will be assembling the turn signals, headlights, grille, and of course, everything else. So now I need to figure out where each bulb goes, what wiring is for what light, and what kind of illumination each part requires. We also bought a new winch, an Escape 18500 model with a pulling force of 8,200 kilograms. This winch is a powerhouse, matching the strength of the vehicle. And as I mentioned earlier, our power steering pump is original, and it has a small reservoir. Therefore, we need a larger reservoir because when the fluid heats up, it spills over the top. Now, we could have gone and found a larger pump, maybe from a tractor or something, but that would involve completely redoing the mountings and hoses. It would take a long time. So, we decided to simply modify our own original reservoir. We'll cut it, make an insert, find a tube of the right diameter, weld it, check for leaks, paint it, and install it. Alright, guys, here's the plan. We've removed the bumpers completely, finished the welding work, and took them to the guys for sandblasting and powder coating. They assured us of a perfect paint job. Now, we're moving on to the fender flares. We'll be applying filler, preparing them to be smooth, and deciding on the texture, whether fine or coarse. At this moment we're deciding, will it be with massive shagreen or small? Share your thoughts in the comments, it will help us decide. Next, we have the side steps. I'm not sure yet what type to use, whether a round tube or a square one. It needs to be convenient for climbing because getting into this vehicle is really challenging. There are various interior details left, like the carpet, which we don't have, so we need to find and order that. The door upholstery, window lifters, and seals need to be sorted out. Most likely, we'll order everything new since we can't install new glass seals on old glass. We've gathered most of the interior parts. Here, there is no insulation, only rubber, so the window lifter will jam. Also, we don't have lights. We assembled everything in the front, connected the dashboard lights, but still need to figure out the non-functioning overhead lights. Nobody remembers where and what relays were installed, so now we're dealing with that. And with that, guys, I'll be wrapping up this video. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed our beast. It feels like we've built a super monster here. Bye.